Do you want to achieve your goals? If yes, then you're in the right place. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is not just a self-improvement book. It's your guide to completely transforming your life. Welcome to the Growth Galore channel for book summaries. Here is the best explanation of the 7th and final habit from this enjoyable book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Grab your coffee or favorite drink, and let's enjoy. Balance is one of the greatest things that can have a very strong impact on your life, and there are many ways to achieve balance. This is the explanation of the 7th and final habit from the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey called this habit the habit of renewal. Stephen Covey says, imagine you see someone trying to cut down a tree with a saw, and you notice how exhausted and tired he is. His face is dripping with sweat, and he can barely breathe from the effort. You ask him, "What are you doing?" He angrily replies, "What does it look like I'm doing? I'm cutting down the tree." You say to him, "How about you take a break, drink some water, eat something, gather your strength, and sharpen the saw, then come back to cut the tree." He angrily responds, "I'm not moving from here until I cut down this tree." And he continues his attempt to cut down the tree. Stephen asks, do you think that with his exhausted body and an unsharpened saw, he will be able to cut down the tree with less effort and in less time? This is exactly the essence of the 7th habit, the habit of renewal, also called in the book Sharpen the Saw. To achieve your goals effectively and ideally, with the least effort and the fastest time, and without mistakes, you must incorporate these 7 habits into your daily routine. Stephen Covey says that effectiveness is the balance between production and the ability to produce. To illustrate this meaning, Covey tells the story of the goose that laid golden eggs and the farmer. There was a poor farmer who woke up one day to find that his goose had laid a golden egg. He couldn't believe it and decided to confirm its authenticity. Indeed, the sellers confirmed that it was a real golden egg. The farmer was overjoyed, and the same thing happened the next day, and the goose laid another golden egg. This continued day after day until the farmer turned from poor to the richest man in the village. Dear viewer, the egg represents production, and the goose represents the ability to produce. Stephen Covey says that effectiveness is achieved by balancing production and the ability to produce. It means, as much as you care about the results, which are the golden eggs, you should also care about the source of these results, which is the goose. However, the farmer, unfortunately, didn't wait a whole day for the goose to produce a single golden egg. Driven by greed, he decided to kill the goose to get all the golden eggs from inside it. By doing so, the farmer killed the goose and the source of his wealth. This is exactly what the person trying to cut the tree with the saw was doing in the first example. He was focused more on productivity than on the source of that productivity, which was the saw. He should have taken a break and sharpened the saw to cut the tree more effectively. This is what happens to all of us. Parents often focus on the results from their children more than on the source of those results. For example, when a son or daughter makes a mistake, parents often resort to harsh criticism and punishment to ensure the mistake is not repeated, even if the price is their relationship with their child. Stephen Covey sends a message to parents, teachers, and educators. If you want to achieve effectiveness and productivity from your children, take care of the source of that productivity, which is the person themselves, and don't destroy the source as the farmer did. Similarly, to managers, take care of your employees as much as you care about their results, because all those results come from the employees. If you lose the employee, you lose the results. Stephen Covey says, dear viewer, there are 4 aspects of your life that you need to balance. 1. The physical aspect. 2. The mental aspect. 3. The emotional or social aspect. 4. The spiritual aspect. Let's dive into the details. First, the physical aspect. Your body needs to be healthy and strong. Good health means eating well and consuming healthy food. It doesn't necessarily mean home-cooked meals, as not all home-cooked meals are healthy. You need to meet your daily water requirement, which is at least 3 liters. It sounds simple, right? You also need to exercise. Many people find exercising quite daunting and don't enjoy it. Second, the mental aspect. A sound mind and a sound body. Just as your body needs nourishment, growth, and exercise, your mind also needs nourishment, growth, and exercise. The food for your mind is knowledge. Without learning and developing, you won't succeed or progress. You need to learn something new, dear viewer, at least one piece of information each day. If that's too much, then at least one piece of information per week. This is a crucial aspect of balance. Do you remember the man trying to cut the tree with a saw? If he had learned to balance productivity with the capacity to produce, he would have cut the tree with less effort and more speed. Similarly, whatever you want to do in life and excel at, you must learn. If the information in your mind today is the same as it was 5 years ago, you are at risk. Imagine if your knowledge hasn't changed in 10 years or more. You must keep learning. Third, the emotional or social aspect. If you are very attached to someone, whether it's a parent, a friend, a lover, or a spouse, and you believe your emotions will crumble if you lose them, and you fear losing them, this indicates an imbalance in your emotional aspect. To correct this imbalance and achieve emotional balance and enrich your relationships with your family and friends, you must strengthen and nourish these bonds. It's not just about spending time with them, but also emotionally connecting with them, sharing, listening to their complaints, and offering support, help, and consolation. Genuine emotional communication. The better and more beautiful it is, the more it will satisfy this aspect and achieve balance for you. Fourth and final is the spiritual aspect, which is powerful and important. This is the reflective side where you try to calm your mind as much as possible, stop overthinking, and focus on the present moment. In this habit, Stephen Covey highlights the importance of self-renewal through the spiritual aspect, which is the foundation on which a person builds their inner strength, values, and life goals. Without nourishing the spirit, one may feel empty and directionless. The spiritual aspect isn't necessarily about religion. It's about the deeper meanings in our lives. It's where we find inner peace and inspiration. This aspect includes activities that help connect us to our deepest values and beliefs. To nourish the spiritual aspect, you can spend time meditating or praying and reading books that stimulate thought and inspire the spirit, whether they are religious, philosophical, or even biographies of people who inspire you. Spending time in nature also helps renew the spirit and feel in harmony with the world. Dear viewer, nourishing the spiritual aspect is not just about improving your mood but is essential for maintaining balance in your life, achieving goals, and maintaining healthy and balanced relationships with others. Without renewing the spirit, we might find ourselves unable to achieve personal effectiveness. With this, we have come to the end of this enjoyable book, and I hope it brings positive and enjoyable changes to your life. Stay tuned for our next book. If you like the explanation, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening attentively, and thank you for your invaluable time.